Let's roll.
Cal Faber is an RCMP constable who gives a whole new meaning to the term mounted policeman.
We're certainly mounted now. The only thing is it's a mechanical mount.
Faber is Grand Centre's new officer on bike patrol. But if you think the idea of a Mountie on a bike seems pretty harmless, think again. Faber may not have a cruiser, but he can still pull over vehicles and even take pursuit when they fail to stop. Faber says at times his bike is better than a police car when it comes to catching thieves breaking into homes and buildings.
You can hear a lot more if you're outside on the mountain bikes, you know, in amongst you know, buildings and you know, alleyways in the dark. You can see a lot more what's going on.
Faber also patrols parks and beaches in the Cold Lake Grand Centre region, and his bike can get him into places a cruiser wouldn't normally go.
As we deal with a lot of liquor-related offenses, intoxicated persons or loud music, stunting vehicles where they're squealing tires. We get a lot of kids out there with their vehicles, and we do get the adults out there too drinking. So we're very effective that way, where, you know, we can basically ride right up onto the person and you know, catch them in the act.
Nothing much. What's with the bikes? Oh, we're doing mountain bike patrols now.
Constable Faber says the public seems to support the idea of an officer on 2 wheels instead of 4. Right now, there are auxiliary officers also involved in the patrols. But Faber is hoping next year's patrol will attract more volunteer riders interested in this new form of pedal-pushing crime prevention.
I could see you know, us having more auxiliary members involved and probably a citizens unit assisting us as well on busy nights and during the day. So,
in Grand Centre, Darcy Modine, Police Beat.
In the tradition of Canada's rich and diverse heritage, the RCMP musical ride held a unique show in the border city. Dressed in colorful Aboriginal costume, local Onion Lake talent performed traditional native dance and music prior to the main event.
The musical ride just isn't the musical ride. The musical ride is part of Canada. Canada has a lot of different cultures in it, and I think everybody should be involved.
Then 32 horse and rider teams took center stage.
They used to use it for troop movements and practice their troop movements during the March West. The first official performance of the musical ride was in 1887.
The ride involves 40 members, and competition for an open spot is quite intensive.
There's usually 2,000 members a year that have put it on their parade form to try out for the musical ride. And out of those 2,000 members, they usually select about 14 people. So I'm fairly fortunate to be able to come down and try out for it.
The musical ride is funded in part by the federal government and by sponsorship. Eskelson says its future should not be threatened by federal cutbacks.
I think it's kind of an icon of Canada, and it's very recognizable, and it's wherever we go, we're well received, and I hope it is something that does remain and never leaves.
The events of the evening played to a packed house, and it seems everyone had their favorite part.
Generally, I like the canter portion, which is from the Lance Stroll out. Lasts about 7 minutes, and I enjoy that part of the ride.
I'd have to say the charge, because then your life flashes in front of your eyes every time. Sometimes you're wondering if your horse is going to stop, but that is one of my favorite moves.
Alyssa Caldwell, NewsHour.